Okay, I wanted to show you guys a couple of the things I had to do to make my door fit on my Gen 2 GTM. You can see it's all together here, and with the red gel coat, I think the car looks pretty nice the way it is to start with. Driver's side door was pretty easy, went together just like the book. It was a passenger side door, just like the Gen 1 guys have been saying, and it's been such a bear to get in there. First thing I did is I mocked up the door with just the fiberglass and the door frame inside, and then got to work with all the hardware, with the door latches and all that. One thing I did find is that the striker on the door that they gave you with the Factory 5 kit was just too small. There was no way it was going to work, so I ended up making one with some 1/2-inch tubing, and then also a 3/8-inch bolt that you can kind of see I shaved off the other front. Once I polish it up, I think it'll look pretty nice. With all that stuff in place, now the door does close pretty nicely, and you can kind of see as the window closes that there's not a whole bunch of interference with the window on the door frame. Some of the gaps aren't uniform. I can probably move the door around a little bit to make the gap uniform, but it does seem like it's pretty tight over there, and I got to figure out how to do the weather seal and over there and see if that's going to actually work once I put the weather seal on the car. But once all that's on the car, there was some work just to get done just to get the lines kind of right. That one I don't think was perfect, but I guess it's close enough for me there. All the main work was really done on the inside of the car. That's where a lot of my time was spent. And you'll see kind of some of the problems were the same ones that the Gen 1 guys ran into. Starting with that front part of the mount didn't fit necessarily well inside the door, so I ended up cutting off the top part of the door frame there. You can kind of see where that is. You can compare it to yours. You can see where I shaved off the top of that mount there. Once I got the window inside the car and tried to move it up and down the tracks, there was a problem with it interfering with the frame, just like the Gen 1 guys have been talking about. So now you can see where I've also had to cut the frame and move that out a little bit. I left the frame inside the car when I did that, cut the tubes, moved them out, and tack welded these tabs on there. And then now that the frame is moved out a little bit, the window will move up and down without any problems or any interference. If I was going to do it over again, what I would do is, you can see down there that bottom cut there, it's a little too close to that window track. I would move those cuts as far forward as I possibly could, just so that they don't interfere with the window as they go down. Right now they're fine, but if I had them that further forward, I probably wouldn't be able to do that, so I would change that next time. Other gotchas that I found with the kit there is as the track goes all the way up, that bracket right there will interfere with the front hinge on the door handle, so I had to shave the door handle. And just like Shane was saying, there's no provisions for locks on the Factory 5 kit, so I had to pull that out, otherwise the window strikes the door lock as it comes down. The book gives a whole bunch of dimensions on how to mount the tracks. I found that none of them actually worked once you got the bottom mounts mounted in there. The key thing is that it's parallel though, so what I did is I made this little thing here out of just some brake tubing and some aluminum, which basically lets me take exact measurements and set this thing up while the track is at the bottom, and then as I move the window to the top, I measure the same points again just to make sure that the tracks are parallel. And once they are, the window moves pretty smoothly. If you guys have any comments for me or any questions, feel free to post them there on ffcars.com. See ya.